I mean, are you talking about
once you create a central plan?
People that were trying to violently overthrow the government? I mean, what are you talking about?
Well, what I'm saying is, once you create a central plan to give certain government officials control over all the stuff, you create a super magnet for all the power hungry people who are megalomaniacs. And of course, that's what happened with Stalin. That's what happened with
corporations all the time. I mean, are there people in capitalist corporations that are power hungry and megalomaniacs?
Yes, but they only control a tiny proportion, so they cannot engage in the kind of. I mean, let's face it. If you give government control over all the stuff, how can you have freedom of the press if you can't own a press? How can you have freedom of religion if you can't own a place of worship?
Well, I don't think we have freedom of the press now, and we can own a press, and it's
well, you can, but it's very government. I would agree with
you. Big corporations, and they repeat lies, and social media is rigged by, we saw how the FBI is coordinating and with Twitter in order to push certain messages.
Put it here, high five, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, we have our private system, and I don't see any freedom of the press. I see, mass engineering and social engineering. It's just being done for the people with the most money, right? Where whereas in the Soviet Union, it was being done by a force that came out of a popular revolution that was in opposition to the rich and powerful. So.
The rich and powerful became the force that was.
When I was in Iran, for example, Iran's not a Marxist country. They call it not capitalism, but Islam. And they were talking about how in Iran, they have elections, but they have this thing called the Guardian Council, right? And the Guardian Council selects which candidates are approved before the election, right? And the Iranians, they said to me, you have the same thing in America. It's called Wall Street. They select which candidates get treated as legit candidates and which don't. But Wall Street just got its position by having the most money. Whereas our Guardian Council, these are the people that led our revolution, that overthrew the Shah, that are the most devout Muslims and the religious leaders. So who would you rather have guiding your democracy? Whoever just happens to have the most money, or people that are in line with your values and your system? And I couldn't argue with them. I mean, I would give you this as an answer. There's scarcity. As long as you have a society that there's going to be some people who make decisions and some people who won't, right? And so wouldn't it be better to have the people who make the decisions be people who are in opposition to the rich and powerful and are accountable to a network of a well-organized population that is trying to carry out their popular will than it is to just be accountable to whoever has the most money?
Well, first of all, I would say they're not accountable, and history has proved that. They can go, but